Hi, Kelly. Thanks
Hi.
for being here today. You're part of our series of interviews we're doing at Ilticon. Why don't you start out by telling about yourself and your practice?
All right. So I work in construction litigation, mostly really complex, large matters at Barclay Damon. And I've been working with the same team of people for quite some time. We were part of a smaller firm before we joined Barclay Damon. So we've been doing some really big, complicated matters for probably about over a decade.
Are those mostly domestic or some of them international?
We've had a few international matters and some where, like the parent company was an international company or some of the employees were overseas, but most of them have been domestically based. And we've had several power plant construction
Okay.
projects and then other different types and some local and some around the country.
So, it's interesting. The conference, there's a huge emphasis on AI. And I
Mhm.
think we're at this moment, kind of an inflection point for eDiscovery, but also across our culture about people utilizing AI. How do you see its effect or on your practice and the work you do?
So I think it's going to be a really big change as we move through the next, months and couple years. Personally, for me, I do use AI tools currently just for things like testing out writing, testing out theories or arguments where it's things are kind of anonymized, but that type of thing. And then we've tested different research tools with AI, but I'm excited to use it more and more in eDiscovery. Um, I haven't actually used it in a live matter yet.
Okay.
I've only, done some pretty robust demonstrations and hands-on things, but that's really where we're moving right to. And I think it'll be very interesting as that really becomes what everybody's doing for first pass and that type of thing.
Right. I think you brought it up for review. There's a huge benefit of being able not just to save time and money, which is two things that all our clients want to do, save
Right.
time and money,
Right.
but also that kind of like speed to information.
Hmm.
And the thing that I think I'm really accustomed in my career is the change. Like we
Right.
thought these were the issues,
Yeah.
and now here are the new issues of pivoting. It's really hard to pivot a linear document review team,
Absolutely.
right? So it's like, oh, all that work you did for 5 weeks, that was kind of on point, but we have these other issues.
Hmm.
Can we do that again quick now,
Right. Right.
immediately? So I think that's really a huge benefit of it. And also having the ability to have a reason why each document
Hmm.
was coded the way it was and have that be like, well, this is why.
Right. Having the reasoning, I think, is a really big, helpful piece of that. I also think the point you're making with it faster to the information, it can really help with the early case assessment type
Right.
periods of time when you're really getting into things. And it helps with some of the toughest matters I've had or where we don't have somebody who knows everything about the project at the client. And those are the toughest things to understand quickly.
Sure.
And so this can really be helpful with that.
I've also seen it where it can help you identify gaps in the
Absolutely.
information you have or the data you collected.
Mhm.
Now, one thing we were talking about with my colleague Fia, we were talking about like needing to understand the data map better of your client
Mhm.
when you're using these powerful tools
Yeah.
because you may not have all the information. So that really helps. And you're also removing that teams of people here and there
Right.
to speed up the process.
Yeah.
I also think the benefit of the AI is understanding the large volumes of data
Mhm.
more so,
Yeah.
um,
As a whole, kind of as a set.
for sure. Well, how else do you think, it's going to change? Do you think it's going to take people's jobs away? There's some fear, right? There's the fear of missing out of not using AI.
Right.
And then there's the other fear of like, oh, we can't use it because no one's going to have a job. We're all going to be sitting around
Right.
drinking coffee all day.
I think you'll be able to retask a lot of, at least in the attorney workflows. You're just going to be able to retask what you're doing, and you'll spend less time doing certain tasks that you can use AI to speed up. or do initial reviews, but you'll be able to spend more time really getting into the nitty-gritty of things and doing more research and argument adjustment and all of that. So at that level, I don't think it necessarily takes jobs away. I think if all you're doing is just some document review, which I've done in my life, you're going to have to try to find a way to change what you're doing and, maybe really get into prompt engineering or something. But those are the kind of jobs that you have to worry about.
Sure. I think there's going to be, the more data increases the need for more people around the data doing the work. But I think you're right, where it's going to make everyone's going to have to use AI in some standpoint for their job. And I talk to a lot of clients about how, and partners and managing partners about, and GCs about the fact that it actually makes your best people more useful because you can use their work and experience and expertise and model that across your projects, and maybe even create a model for your work for construction or for antitrust or something like that.
Right. Absolutely. And it's really, you get all this information quicker, but that leads you to, we can look down all these other paths, and you have the time to actually explore those paths.
Right. That's a good point. Well, thanks for your time today, Kelley, and we'll be doing more of these, so you're always welcome back, and you have a great day.
All right. Great to be here. Thanks.
Thank you.